6:31. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6:31 p.m. on it's May 1st tonight. And with that, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to call to order the City of Laverne City Council meeting for May 1st, 2023. And I welcome all of you here tonight for our council meeting in which we conduct the business of the city. And I want to remind everyone that per the city rules of decorum, all speakers, members of the audience, and council members are to conduct themselves with decorum and not to engage in conduct that interrupts the orderly conduct of the meeting. Tonight, we are very pleased to have once again one of our proud veterans, as you just met, Antonio Rios, Marine Corporal, to conduct the Pledge of Allegiance for us tonight. Corporal, if you please.
Please stand. All prior military and first responders may render salute. All others, please place your hand over your heart and begin.
Which is one nation under God. Thank you, Marine Corporal Rios. Mr. Domer, can you please conduct roll call?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Castrovillela,
Yes, sir.
Councilmember Johnson,
Here.
Councilmember Lau, Mayor Pro Tem Crosby,
Here.
and Mayor Hepburn.
Present.
All present, sir.
Tonight, we have three presentations. The first is proclamation declaring the month of May as Older Americans Month to celebrate older Americans and the key role they play in sharing their wisdom and experience that inform today's decisions.
Here on the desk.
Where's that, Rob? Proclamation is presented to the board members of the Senior Advisory Committee. The Senior Advisory Committee meets the third Wednesday of the month, every month, to discuss senior programs and activities at the community center. These meetings are open to the public and participation is encouraged. Read the proclamation. Whereas older Americans entail a large segment of our population, representing a great national resource of skills, wisdom, and experience upon which much of our nation's progress has been built and continues to enrich our daily lives through counsel and leadership. And whereas the Administration for Community Living have identified that 2023 theme as Aging Unbound, which prioritizes a need for older Americans to be engaged in the community and promote flexible thinking about aging. And whereas the opportunities and challenges that await us require our continued commitment to the goal of ensuring that our older adults enjoy active, productive, and healthy lives, and do so independently, safely, and with a dignity. And whereas the City of Laverne includes a growing number of older Americans and recognizes a need to create a community that provides the services and support for them to thrive. And whereas the City of Laverne is committed to our older American residents by providing abundant activities, social opportunities for older adults to discover new ideas and participate in social groups, fitness classes, and volunteer programs. Now be it proclaimed by the City of Laverne that the month of May 2023 be recognized as Older Americans Month. And we renew our commitment to honoring their contribution by giving them the fullest care, support, and respect they deserve, and encourage all residents to pay tribute to those who raised and guided us throughout our lives. Dated this first day of May 2023. Myself, Mayor Laverne. Congratulations. Come on up, you guys. Senior Advisory Committee, come on. Come on. I know you're not shy. Here, come on, over here. And yes, I'm a senior too, just so you know. Here, let's get you guys in there first. You have a proclamation? Not a proclamation. It's the four. Here, we'll get that to you next. Okay. Wait, I'll go behind. See the both sides. Good. There you go. Here. I got you. I do want to thank all of you guys for that because I know you work closely with Yvonne Duran, and we've got some amazing senior programs that we do at our community center. And without that, Laverne wouldn't be Laverne. And we really appreciate Community Services Director Yvonne Duran and what you guys do to make sure we focus on the things that are needed, and listen to what's going on. So we really do appreciate that. And congratulations. And not for being a senior, but congratulations for doing it. Because we're all seniors over 55. You can go to Denny's, it doesn't matter. That's right. We have one more little outstanding. The Senior Advisory Committee meets every third Wednesday, like I said, and during this time, we'd like to honor our outstanding older American nominee. Every year in the month of May, the Senior Advisory Committee nominates an older American as part of the Los Angeles County Commission for older adults annual Older Americans Recognition Day Awards program. This year, the Senior Advisory Committee has nominated Pat Bauer as the city's outstanding older American. Pat, get up here. This is a roast.
Oh, it's okay. Give me the mic.
Yeah, no, I know better. The man can speak, no question about it. And his wife also. He's an amazing man because every time that we've had any functions over the number of years, we go by Heritage Park. Here's Pat and a number of other people I see in the crowd, like who's that back there? Jack Manziel, he's always there, and a number of other people that are there that help with the animals and the upkeep of the farm and the buildings and everything that goes on there. And sorry, we'll be on at 11 o'clock. Pat has been a Laverne resident for 16 years. He served over 4 years in the Navy. He attended Cal Poly Pomona and graduated with a bachelor's degree in business. He worked at Coca-Cola working on IBM 360 series computers.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Jeez. But seasoned well.
Sure.
Yeah. After retirement, he joined the Laverne Heritage Foundation and contributed countless hours towards the maintenance and upkeep of the eastern side of Heritage Park, while also serving as vice president on the Laverne Heritage Foundation's board. Pat is known as the leader of the pack, and that is a really good name. Amongst the Barn Boys, who along with his group faithfully comes to work the grounds every Wednesday, Pat is instrumental in various special events that utilize Heritage Park. I have my certificate there somewhere, guys. We have a certificate though, don't we? Come on up. And you, what office are you with? Susan Rubio, come on up.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Alex Alvanesian, and I'm with the Office of State Senator Susan Rubio. I will be the field rep for Laverne. The city is new to the Senator's District, so we look forward to working with local electeds and to serve you all. So thank you very much. And with that, on behalf of the California State Senate, it is my honor to present you with the certificate in recognition of your dedicated community service and contributions to the city of Laverne. I commend your outstanding work with the Heritage Foundation as vice president, and your dedication in promoting civic engagement and being a helping hand with Laverne residents is truly amazing. Congratulations.
Our certificate looks just like that one. Pat,
I get the
3
talk.
minutes.
Oh, my God. Well, in that case, I got to hurry up here. First of all, this is the icing on the cake. What I do at the park, I enjoy. I'm the one getting the reward at that time. As you may know, Laverne has many very nice parks, but they only have one Laverne Heritage Park. Yes? Okay. Anyways, we have many volunteers. Kay, how many volunteers do we have? 40 volunteers. Why? Because we have things that go on year round. Therefore, we need a lot of people to do this, to conduct. And Kay, she handles all those people. She handles the schools that come by multiple times throughout the year. Very, very important person, Kay. And her sidekick, Donna, who helps her out a lot too, by the way. Okay, that's the volunteer side. There's also a core group of people that work at Laverne. I say work, it's a passion is what it really is. These people, 20 roughly, they come and go throughout the year, not when the events are there, but all the time. And what do? They prepare for the next, they prepare for what's going on now. Like in my group, we prepare all the time. I'm part of you heard it, the Barn Boys. However, it's Barn Boys and Girls. And so with those people, we maintain the grounds and whatever else is necessary throughout the park. There are times that get a little bit over our head. And when that happens, who do I call? I call the city. I probably talk to Yvonne first. That would be number one. If we go to other departments, we go. And thank you, Yvonne. We appreciate your people. Thank you very much. And all the other departments that we end up dealing with. For instance, a year ago, January, one Saturday, we had a very strong winds and we had several trees that went down. Who do we call? Well, the city, of course, and they came immediately and took care of the situation. We do appreciate it. I have 3 people, I want to mention their names. One is Chuck, one is Fred, and the other happens to be Natalie and Dawn. Why those people, for God's sake? They don't live in Laverne. One lives in Glendora, one lives in Rancho Cucamonga, and the other in Covina. But they're here. Why? Because it's a great place to be, even when you're working your butt off sometimes. Well, I'm about to maybe what's the 1 minute now?
Introduce your family.
Oh, how nice. That's a good idea. I will in a moment.
Okay.
Anyway.
We'll take an intermission.
Yeah.
Background.
No. Don't go anywhere, folks. Anyways, I do appreciate the fact that I've been recognized. It doesn't matter. The icing's already, that's the icing on the cake, yes. But what I do is something I enjoy and I truly love. Yesterday was April 30th. That would have been my brother Ron's 88th birthday. However, Saturday, 2 weeks ago, he passed away. Sorry to say, but how did I get to Laverne Heritage Park? My brother Ron. And by his guidance at the time, which turned into me guiding him occasionally, but we had wonderful times in the park. And all I can do is say, thank you, Ron. And also one last thing. Thank you, City of Laverne. What a great opportunity. Now, we're going to do this. This is the end, okay?
You got the mic.
All right, you guys. Okay, Bowers, please stand up. Boulets, please stand up. You happen to be my family. Are you a Bauer back there? Huh?
In the triplets. In the triplets.
Those are babies A, B, and C. A, B, and C are triplets. I know they all look a little different, but that's the way it goes. Next, I have the other part of my family. The other part of my family is Laverne Heritage Park. Can you please stand up?
Don't be shy.
Hey. One last thank you. The one last thank you is Debbie, thank you for allowing your husband, Jack, to join me at the park and to work vigorously on all kinds of events. We do appreciate it.
She doesn't complain.
Well, she does, but
She likes Jack to be out of the house. I know that for a fact.
I think it's the other way around.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
I'm done at this point. So
No,
now
and
what?
here, look at this wonderful certificate that just happened to pop up. Thank you. On behalf of Laverne, we're extremely proud of you. We're extremely proud of the Heritage Foundation and what you guys do because it is an awesome place. It really is fun to go there with the tractor running and all the animals and all the fun things for the kids to see. We did our first Easter egg hunt this year with 4 different shifts. It was an absolute success. Without the Heritage Foundation and that wonderful orange groves, it would not have been. And so thank you guys again very much. Thank you, Pat. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations.
Did I get it down?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
All right.
Very much.
Thanks, Jim.
We got one more. Can't leave yet. It's our final presentation. Final presentation, a proclamation declaring the month of May as Asian American and Pacific Islander Month, paying tribute to the contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders throughout American history, society, and culture. City of Laverne proclamation, whereas Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month is a month to celebrate and pay tribute to the contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders to American history, society, and culture. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders represent more than 56 ethnic groups and make our nation more vibrant through diversity of cultures, languages, and religions. And whereas generations of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders of all backgrounds have been instrumental examples of leaders and trailblazers and have long-standing history of making esteemed significant cultural and economic contributions across America. Whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have helped develop and defend the United States, often in the face of tremendous racial and cultural prejudice. And whereas the city of Laverne recognizes the irreplaceable legacy of our Asian American and Pacific Islander residents and business owners who have shaped the community into what it is today. Now be it proclaimed by the city of Laverne that the month of May 2023 be recognized as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And we encourage everyone to commemorate this important occasion in recognition of the numerous contributions made by the Asian American and Pacific Islander communities locally, nationally, and globally, dated this first day of May 2023, signed by me. This proclamation, where are the, hey. Ken and Fang Belmonte. Please give them a round of applause. The Belmontes have been deeply involved in the community since they opened their restaurant downtown Laverne in 2018. They donate to the local nonprofit groups, including the Chamber of Commerce and the Canine Foundation. They participate in the city events, including the Sip of Laverne. You've got a long rap sheet here, you two. Wine Walk, and this last Saturday was the Wine Walk, obviously, and other annual events like the Beer Walk, Taste of Laverne. Cafe Wing also hosts the monthly Old Town Laverne Business Improvement District meetings. These efforts done by Cafe Wing truly exemplify the pride of Laverne. We wish them well for their continued success. Thank you. There you go. Okay, let's get you guys in a picture. Come on, go ahead. Thank you, guys. Here, come over here. I want to get a picture. Come on. You know me. Come on. And by the way, if you haven't been to Cafe Wang, you got to be there. It's great food. Excellent food. Okay, that completes our presentation. So we're going to take like a 3-minute recess. So those people that have to go elsewhere and not listen to the exciting meeting, please, 5-minute recess. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. I think they're leaving. Up, it's too late. Thank you. Please tell her. She's wonderful. Can't wait. Are we ready to start up again, guys? We're going to call the meeting back to order at 6:57 PM. I'm not going to gavel it. With that, we move to announcements of upcoming and community events. I know we have a number of people. I'd like to say something before we start. I know we have the Fairplex ready to go, and we'll do that in just a second. A statement on 740 Foothill. I know that that's been a real interesting subject regarding the 54 unit, 5-story building in an unincorporated area of San Dimas on a postage stamp lot. I want to thank everyone who showed up yesterday at the community rally to oppose the county's housing project proposal located at 740 Foothill. Your concern and opposition are supported by this council. For those wishing to speak about the item tonight, you can do so during public comments as there is no agendized item at this time. However, I want to let you know that we plan on having a letter of opposition for consideration on our May 15th council meeting, just as our colleagues in San Dimas are doing at their next meeting on the 9th. When this project was unveiled to us 2 weeks ago, I want all you to know that the two cities, through their city managers, began dig deeper into the proposal so that when the time came, the cities could best situated to take appropriate action, even though state law completely usurps our ability to take any action on this project. I'm sure each council member will provide a comment on this item, but we cannot discuss it tonight. But that is what the consideration of the letter of opposition will allow for us to do on May 15th. Thank you all. With that, Natalie Chadez, did I say it right? Very good. She's from the Fairplex to discuss the LA County Fair, which is, I'll let you talk. Come on. This is your. You bring free tickets for everyone in the room? Oh, I gotta talk to your boss.
Not free tickets, but $1 tickets.
There you go.
Hello, everyone. My name's Natalie Chivas. I'm here in representation of Fairplex tonight and the LA County Fair. Lovely to see you, Mayor, Council, Laverne community. We are excited that this is the second year that the fair will be in May, and we are celebrating our new season with a spring theme this year, where we are celebrating baby goats, baby flowers, and all things renewal, including a new fair date as well. And more importantly, Laverne Day is on May 12th this year, Friday, May 12th. Now, all residents, Laverne residents, should have received a Laverne Day at the fair postcard. If you do not have one, I have one here tonight. They're at the table. You make sure to pick one up. On Laverne Day, Laverne residents are able to purchase tickets for $1. Those are if you buy them online ahead of time at lacountyfair.com. Again, recommend to buy now. It's perfect time. Plan your Friday. The day of online, they will be $8. And if you do buy at the gate, they are $10. Still cheaper for Laverne residents, but the best deal is if you buy ahead of time. This year at the fair, there's a lot of new things to see. And especially I'm excited about, we're partnering with LACMA to have a photography exhibit at our Millard Sheets Art Center. Our baby animals will return. Thank you to our partnership with Cal Poly Pomona. So please come out and pet a baby lamb, which I do every on my lunch breaks. So, best place to work. So we hope to see everyone there. And I hope you're all as excited as we are for fair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Robin Carter.
Good evening, Robin Carter, 2838 Teal Street. I am here to give some good news, but a little background is I am the treasurer of our Laverne 4th of July committee. And there's been information going out there that's not actually correct, but in a story that is condensed for you to understand is I wanted to let you know that the community to know that our 4th of July committee is truly a community committee. It is not a city council meeting committee, that we run it as a community. on that note, I do want to invite people to join our committee, come out to our committee meetings. And also the day of the parade, we need assistance. So anyone that would like to join, we'd love to have more help. But as some of the information that went around was about Little League and not allowing them to be on a float. I'm happy to say that after some time here, this last meeting on Wednesday, Little League board did come and meet with us. Our committee was all in this room actually, and they came, we had a wonderful conversation. And we ended up coming up with a subcommittee to work out the details on what is going to happen the day of the 4th of July with Little League. They have a couple new board members. They're excited. They actually put together a committee for 4th of July. As we all know, with any organization, you have to have rules and you have to abide by the rules. So I'm very happy to say that we're moving forward with the parade, and we want Little League to be a part of it. So thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. Robin Carter. George May.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, city staff, and Laverne residents. I actually have a crowd for the first time. I'm going to mention actually this month, we are starting to accept applications for our annual summer discovery program. So we're accepting volunteer applications. So we're looking for teens ages 14 to 18. So this is a perfect opportunity for any kids, teens who want to get their community service requirements, school requirements out of the way. It's an opportunity to try something different at the library to assist the library. So if you have teens or you know teens who would be interested, please have them come over to the library to fill out the applications. And the summer discovery program is going to run through June 1st through August 13th this year. We have 3 programs. I mentioned one of them last meeting, and this program is tomorrow, Tuesday, May 2nd at 6 o'clock. It's sushi for beginners with Chef Andy Matsuda. He's going to be covering some of the more popular sushi dishes. So it's 6 o'clock. It's 18 and up. So please come on. Usually when we have food program, people show up. So,
Even if the sushi's not pretty, they're still going to eat it,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yes. And we have 2 other programs, and both of these programs have take-home activities related, connected to it. The first one is on Saturday, May 13th at 11:30. It's being put on by the LA County Public Works Department. It has to do with smart gardening. So this is for beginners. So you're going to learn about backyard composting, water-wise gardening, worm composting, grass recycling, and also edible gardening. Now at the meeting, at this program, they're going to have compost bins, $40 for standard compost bin. They're also going to have worm compost bins with the worms for $65. So if you're interested with worms, yeah.
Wow.
So that's May 13th, Saturday, May 13th. Now, connected to gardening, we also have a program, take home activity kit, grow your own microgreens. And this is a program supported by the U.S. Institute of Museum and Library Services under the provisions of the Library Services and Technology Act that's administered by California, by the state librarian. So those kits are a limited supply. So if you're interested, please come stop by the library. So they're going to be available as long as supplies last. The second program is to celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. It is for ages 5 to 12 with parents or caregiver. It is titled Art Inspired by Takashi Murakami. I hope I didn't butcher that. Participants will be creating their own artwork that's inspired by this contemporary Japanese artist. Attendance is limited and registration is required. So if you're interested, please come on by the library or go to visit.lacounty.org/events and just narrow it by Laverne Library. Go to our website, Laverne, look at the events, and you'll see the information there. We also have a take-home kit that's also in celebration Asian Pacific Heritage Month. It's called the ribbon lay. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, but this is a ribbon. Those ribbons are created by Native Hawaiians, and they use a unique braiding technique that creates these colorful ribbons. So those kits are available inside the library. Again, there's limited supply, so if you guys are interested, please stop by and pick up one of the kits. That's it for this month. Just keep checking our events calendar. We have a couple programs that still have been approved. So just keep checking our events calendar. Once they are, they'll be online and you can see what the details are. So please come on by. There's something for everybody and please support the library. Thank you.
Nothing on engine building or anything like that?
Nothing yet.
You know, we laugh, but the library has so much to offer and we really need to take advantage of it. I think it was Ms. Beauchamp had mentioned at the last meeting that it's one of those things that's really important to keep. We have a beautiful one. George does a fantastic job with his staff, but you can just see all the stuff that they offer and we really should be taking advantage of that. Thank you, George.
Speaking of cars, we do have auto repair manuals and one of our databases is the Chilton Auto Repair Database. So that's available.
I knew you'd have that. See? Yeah, he has everything. Thank you, George. Gary Best.
Gary Best, 3949 Bradford Street, Laverne, and president of the Laverne Historical Society. So while we're on the subject of gardening and while we're on the subject of the LA County Fair, I will put out some flyers from the Garden Friends, which is a group of people in Laverne, San Dimas, Claremont, Covina. We have people from the South Bay. We meet once a month and our garden sale is June 9th and 10th at the historical Holy Trinity Episcopal Church in Covina. So this is the place to stock up on your summer planting. So we keep it reasonably priced. All of our plant stock have been donated by members of the Garden Club. So come have a fun day and pick up some plants. On the subject of the LA County Fair, the Laverne Historical Society will be at the fair May 20th and 22nd. And we thought about Laverne Day at the fair, but that's also the Mother's Day weekend. And we wanted to get some volunteers to help us. So we put it off for a week, but do come visit us at the county fair. We'll be there. And finally, last call for the Nethercutt collection trip. We're going to be going to see the Nethercutt Museum this coming Saturday. So pick up your flyer, register. You can pay at the time the bus disembarks to the Nethercutt. Thank you so much.
What about membership?
What about it? Let's see. We appreciate your donations. We appreciate your membership. We picked up 2 new members, member families in the last 2 events we attended with the Historical Society. And one of the families owns the very iconic and unique Samuel Overholzer house that's on Park Avenue. And we're getting ready to go over and meet with them on the 16th, talk about their house, view their house. And I'm going to try my darndest to hit them up for a home tour. So I have plans for them, maybe more than they know. But we met them and we also met a wonderful family who got a lifetime membership after meeting with us for just a few minutes, and they bought a little house on Bonita Avenue, which they are completely restoring top to bottom. And they've put on a new roof so they can keep it nice in there, but now they're going to be working on restoring it. And we hope to follow that restoration from the beginning to the end with pictures and then talk about that restoration in various editions of the newsletter. So if you want to join the Historical Society, it's $20 for an individual membership, $25 for a family membership, or $200 for a lifetime membership. So come be a lifer with us. Thank you.
Or donate anything you wish for the truck.
Oh, yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
How are we doing on the truck?
Well, we just made over $1,000 at the community yard sale.
Go.
That bought us the intake manifold And let's see, what else?
We're buying piece by piece here. So $100, $50,
Yes.
it's all goes well.
And it's all, we're now into the final parts that are all multiple hundreds of dollars each, but they're coming. And the truck has the engine on, the transmission is on, and it will be rolling in the 4th of July parade. So come out and see our truck. There
Congratulations.
you go. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Any more announcements on upcoming events anybody wishes to speak on? Come on up.
Hello and good evening. My name is Yvonne Gallegos. I am the Vice Chair of the Cultural Awareness and Social Inclusion Committee. I am just here to announce that we will be having our monthly meeting on Wednesday. Wednesday, and we are meeting at the Citrus Room on the Hillcrest campus,
5 p.m., right?
5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yes. Come join us. Everyone is welcome, and come join us to talk about some of the topics that are going on in the city. Some good things that we're planning ahead of time as well for the near future. Some maybe museum trips and community dinners, things like that. So again, all are welcome to join us at our council meeting on Wednesday, 5 p.m. the Citrus Room, Hillcrest.
Thank you, Yvonne.
You're so welcome.
Take care. Ms. Beauchamp?
Good evening, Council, Mayor, and residents of Laverne and San Dimas. I just wanted to remind everyone that Wednesday, May 3rd, is the Bonita Unified School District Board meeting at 115 West Allen Avenue in San Dimas at the school district office. We need the support of parents to fight the books that are being allowed at the elementary school level regarding transgenderism and explicit sexual material. So we need parents, grandparents, neighbors, even people that, like myself, I don't have children, but I care about them. I umpire Little League baseball. So it's important that we show our support to save this material from our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Beauchamp. Anyone else on announcements? Kathy? Are you going to ask for more money? I'm pushing it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Kathy Kalusek, 3rd Street. And I know sometimes Mayor Hepburn announces this, but this Wednesday morning from 8 to 11, Sowing Seeds for Life will be having their drive-through food pantry. They do it on the 1st and 3rd Wednesday of most months. So that'll be both of those days, 8 to 11, it's a drive up. It's at Charisma Life Church, which is on the north side of Arrow Highway, just about a block east of Gary Avenue in Pomona. And we're also always happy to have volunteers join us because sometimes it's a light crew. So anyway, if you are in need or if you know someone in need, please send them over. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. Anyone else on announcements? You have nothing? Yeah. We're going to go ahead and close. Oh, go ahead.
I have 2 announcements. We have the Laverne K9 and Police Foundation, their family festival, May 21st at the Lutheran High School. It is from 1 to 5 p.m. There's going to be 60 vendors there, and it's all going, has a beer garden, prizes, free face painting, free entry. Bring your dogs with you as well. And so Family Festival helps support the K9 and Police Foundation. Also, a week from today, May 8th, the Laverne POA is having their golf tournament at Upland Country Club.
And just a reminder that Katie's Pet Depot over there by Big Lots, they have on the counter, they show what Tupelo, which is our police dog, and you can donate. Bless you. You can donate. That's it. Clear the room. You can donate anything you wish. There's a whole list on the counter. It's got a picture of Tupelo, and it helps to finance and help with the dog. So, and she's incredible. So anyway, just an FYI. Any other announcements, council? With that, we're going to close announcements and we're going to move to consent calendar. As a reminder, the consent calendar is considered routine matters. You know, like 2 years ago, you would have been killed. Oh, wait. Sorry. We have changed, thank God. We go down. Where was I, guys? Okay. The consent calendar is considered routine matters and will be enacted by one motion unless pulled for separate discussion. Mr. Domer, was there anything pulled from consent calendar tonight?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Item number 3, dealing with the ticket distribution policy, was pulled by resident Rick Bowen.
Then we will hold that item, but we will move anything else pulled. Then I need a motion for the rest of the consent calendar.
Move its approval.
Have a second? Very voting, Mr. Johnson. There you go. Wow, that's quick.
That was approved 5-0.
With that, we'll move to item number 3. I think Mr. Bowen, did Mr. Bowen pull that item? Mr. Bowen?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm glad to see this report come out. A few years ago, we had a few instances where city vendors were giving gifts to council members, the city manager, as well as the city attorney. So I love the fact that you're going to put some limitations on this. One that I would hope you might recommend as an addition is that no contracted city vendors are allowed to give gifts to city employees and or council members because there's obviously a conflict of interest. So thank you otherwise.
Thank you, Mr. Bowen. With that, back up, motion on that item.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
vote please. Motion carries. With that, Mr. Domer, public hearings, paramedic service fee. We now move to the public hearings. Today, we will be discussing the paramedic service fee adjustment for the 2023-24 fiscal year. Finance Director Christy Lopez is going to come up and discuss the item further before we open it up for discussion. Finance Director Lopez, welcome back. Been so long.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Today, I present to you a report on the paramedic service fee adjustment. In November of 1980, just to give you a little bit of history, voters approved this fee to be used for the administration, paramedic, and ambulance services in the city. In the ordinance, an adjustment to increase the fee based on the October CPI is a provision if needed. Based on the current expenditures identified in the 23-24 budget as related to this service, the CPI increase of 7.5% has been identified as necessary for the revenues to keep pace with the expenditures. It is anticipated that the 7.5% increase, which equates to a 44-cent increase per month, will generate roughly $70,000 per year. In closing, staff recommends that City Council adopt the paramedic service invoice increase to increase the fee from $5.91 to $6.35. Thank you, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you very much. We're going to move to public comment. Might have some questions later.
No problem.
We're going to go and open public comment on this item. Does anybody wish to speak on this item? Ms. Beauchamp.
I would like to know if the increase in funds on collecting this fee was calculated in the budget proposal that was presented earlier this evening. And if so, what those numbers would be in terms of percentages. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Beauchamp. We'll hold that question until we're done with public comment. Anyone else wish to have public comment on this item? Nobody online? We're going to go ahead and close public comment and we're going to move it up to the dais. Council, any comments on this? I think we should probably answer the question first. Ms. Lopez?
Yes, this was included in our anticipated revenues and for the 23-24 budget. And the increase is 7.5%, which is based on the October CPI. As far as percentage, I'm not sure what related to. I don't know the exact question of percentage. It is 7.5% is what the increase is.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Council, comments? Mr. Johnson.
I've got just a quick question. I see that we're adjusting to CPI. And the heading for the CPI is Consumer Price Index for Pacific cities and US city average. Are we in fact using a broader scale than just LA County, Long Beach and Anaheim, or?
No, we are using Los Angeles County.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I just
And
wanted
the
to
increase
confirm.
over that 1 year from October to October is at 7.5%.
Very good. Thank you.
You can just wait.
I will. Yes.
Any other questions?
Yeah, well,
Councilmember Cat.
thank you, Mayor. When was the last time we've seen this increase?
This is generally increased every year.
Every year.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Crosby.
This service is essential for our residents. And where ambulances then is free to our residents, I think it's a good insurance policy for our residents to have.
Councilmember Lau. You want to just say ditto? I would have to agree. I think this is a wonderful service that we provide and we do a really, really good job, especially well now with our new AO program and our ambulance operators. We are not only getting funds from other cities. So this pays for that, but it also we get reimbursed for cities when we go out with our ambulances, which we are using more and more. And I will a testament to Chief Nig with his new automatic aid agreement with Los Angeles County. It's been proving to be, we help them, they help us. And I understand that we're helping them a lot. And so with that, and also with outside agencies that we're helping with the ambulance program has been really good for us. So with that, thank you.
Thank you.
Director Lopez. With that, I'll accept a motion. Second,
Second,
vote please. Look at that.
That was approved 5-0.
Very good. Other matters, active transportation, Mr. Domer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Last week on Monday, there was a adjourned regular meeting in which 6 applicants for the Active Transportation Commission meeting were interviewed. 3 of the members were present, 3 of the council members, 2 of them have reviewed the material via video. So tonight is the appointment of those positions. There are 2 vacant positions on the Active Transportation Commission. So at this point, it is expected that there would be a nomination for a person. If that person is seconded, then a vote taken, and we will do that until both spots are filled.
With that, Mr. Johnson, you look like you want to make a nomination.
Yeah, I'd like to make a nomination. Chantel Stiver, I believe last name.
Yes. Sabine Chantel Stiver.
And I would also like to note that every applicant was in District 1.
Is that a feather in your cap or what? Wow, just throw it out there, huh?
Well, you know.
Now that we went to district voting?
Did we narrow the
What are you trying to tell us, Mr. Johnson?
uh?
With that, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Vote please.
That was approved 5-0.
We move to the second applicant. Do we have a motion?
I have a nomination of Mr. Muir Davis.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Vote please. Okay. Great.
That motion did not carry 3-2 with Lau and Crosby approving.
We move to the second one. Do we have another motion for a second applicant?
Jared Palmer. Jared Palmer's Canada came. Dad had real well spoken, articulate, had great ideas about what we can do differently here in our city moving forward. So somebody that I had in mind.
We have a second.
Second,
Vote, please.
And that is approved 4-1 with Crosby dissenting.
Mr. Domer,
Bet you two.
we have our new committee members or appointments.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of council.
This is the time set aside for anyone wishing to address the city council on items not listed in any other place on the agenda. Under the provisions of the Brown Act, the legislative body is prohibited from taking or engaging in discussion on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. However, your concerns may be referred to staff on a set for discussion later. You can email your public comment to the assistant city clerk, which will post. Your public comment will be shared with the council, included as part of the permanent record. We have quite a few people here tonight. We'll try to keep that to a 3-minute discussion. With that, I'm going to open up public comment. Anybody wish to speak on public comment? Oh, thank you. I'm right here. Just a minute. Piper Burke.
Hi,
How are you?
good. How are you?
Thank you for coming. Go ahead. It's all yours.
Hi, my name is Piper Burke and I live in Laverne. My family and I are against the proposed building. I think that it is unfair that National Corps and the LA County Board of Supervisors did not inform the community of the 5-story building. They are putting the needs of 54 non-residents before the needs of our community. Who is going to protect the children of Laverne and San Dimas? That is my question. I hope that you can all see the importance of this decision and that we will need to oppose and stop this development. I hope you know that my family and I, as well as our neighborhood and community, will fight this development. We will continue to stand up for our community. I feel like this deal is rotten to the core. Thank you.
You're in my district. I'm in trouble. As Mr. Johnson mentioned about District 1, you know what? I really appreciate you coming up and really speaking. You did a fantastic job. So that's one other round of applause. Okay, if I'm reading this correctly, it's Melissa Burke, Piper Burke, and Nikki Hoare. You're gonna do it together.
She's gonna take a seat.
Good evening.
Good
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I've been a Laverne resident for 35 years and I've always loved this city. And I understand you made a statement that you stand by the Laverne citizens in opposition of the 740 Foothill project. However, for the first time today, I felt that you were working against us and not with us. We're on the committee to stop this project, and you came into our community today and targeted us. And I paid out of my pocket for signs to be posted throughout the community, and they were picked up by the city today. And I take that as a smack in the face. And I thought that they were picked up by people who were against the project. And I called the city to find out if they were picked up. And Public Works said, you know what, let me check. And she called me back and said, you know what, yes, they were. And they came back and brought them to my home. And they said that they were on city property. They were not on city property. They were realtor-sized signs that stick into the dirt. So they were not on the sidewalk. I've seen realtor signs there for weeks on end. They've been there for 4 days. I just felt betrayed by my city today for the first time.
And I also, good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members for hearing us. I also wrote something that I like to bring up. My name is Melissa Burke, and I've been a resident in Laverne for the past 10 years. This evening, I have come in front of you to express my concern and opposition to the 740 East Foothill Housing Project. To be honest, finding out about the project right before it went to a funding vote makes me incredibly angry and sick to my stomach. I'm proud of the immediate action of Mayor Tim Hepburn, so thank you for that. But now we need the support of each and every single one of our council members. The proposed housing development will bring a strain on our local resources. It will deter potential businesses to the surrounding businesses, and most importantly, it will put our children in danger. We work extremely hard to make our community a safe environment. This development by National Corps and the LA Board of Supervisors will strip away everything that we've worked so hard for. As my daughter said, this deal is definitely rotten to the core. Lastly, as a community member of the Fox Glen neighborhood, I've spent the last week walking around and talking to our neighbors just to bring awareness about this issue. We have posted flyers and posters throughout the neighborhood to bring awareness to those that are not on social media, as we do have an older population in our community. As Nikki mentioned, we discovered today that some of our public works department had removed our signs, which we made sure these signs were placed appropriately. Lastly, I'm proud of the 400 plus Laverne and San Dimas residents that came together on Sunday at the San Dimas Canyon Park to oppose this development. However, I am sad that we did not have representation from our own city council. We need you to help us. We need you to support us. We need you to stop this development. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you very much. Don Hubble. Evening.
Mayor, Councilman. This is regarding 740 Foothill. I know it's not on the agenda, but my name is John Hubble. I live at 4900 Emerald Avenue. I've been a resident in that same house for 43 years. And before the 210 went through, before the Edwards Theater was built. But I've been very comfortable living here and having all my kids and graduate from Bonita High School. I was a contractor here at the city. And your job is to make sure that the town is safe and the residents are happy. In all the years, I've only seen some homeless pass through the city and was checked out right away by a great police force. Why would you allow, and I'll call it a homeless hotel placed near the city? I wish some of you would have been at the San Dimas meeting. That would have been a good representative. And I know you talked about it at the beginning, and I just want to ask you guys to stay on top of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don. Danita Beauchamp.
I have all kinds of stuff to talk about. Okay. First of all, I would like to request that the city council, the awards that are presented to the veterans who do, that lead the pledge, it should be an official part of the meeting. It's not recorded. And I think that they deserve the respect and the recognition through their service to our country. It should be part of the official meeting. So I'm officially requesting that, and I will put that in writing to Mr. Domer. Number two, I would like to thank everybody from the city, the police department, fire department, public works, community events, and everybody who had played a part in the Heart of the Foothills event. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend, but my neighbors and other people that I spoke with in the community absolutely had a great time. The pictures were wonderful. It was really nice to see our community participate in unison. There were no issues at all. I mean, it was just, everybody was happy. The weather was wonderful, kids on their bikes, families. It was a really, I think, a perfect representation of what the city of Laverne really is. Number 3, I would also like to thank Community Development Director Eric Scheer, as well as the Planning Commissioner Chairman Jason Simison. I attended the Planning Commission meeting last week, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I umpire Little League Baseball for boys and girls fast pitch for girls. And so I was umpiring a game in San Dimas and wasn't able to attend at the start of the meeting. So I arrived late, but Mr. Scheer took the time to explain something that they had already gone over and answered my questions, as well as Mr. Simison. And I really appreciate that open dialogue and communication, rather than just say, oh, you can watch the video when it's released. They took the time to answer my questions, and that made me feel like I was important. My opinion mattered, my questions mattered. And I really wish that this council would do the same by putting the 740 East Foothill on the agenda so that it could be properly dialogued between the residents and the council. San Dimas put it on their agenda. Their meeting is next Tuesday, May 9th at 7 p.m. As Nikki explained, I feel like this council kind of left us, they ghosted us. I mean, mayor was great by notifying the residents about the project, by doing his minute with the mayor, but nobody did anything else with the exception of Cash. Councilmember Cash signed the online petition, and he is the only one who has done so. I really wish that the council would write a letter, as you explained at the beginning of the meeting, just as you did when we were fighting the camps after Bob Page. One letter signed by all council and the mayor sent to the Board of Supervisors, not just Catherine Barger, whose this district is, but Hilda Solis, who authored this motion, and all of the supervisors, including Berntino, Chris Holden, Rubio. Everybody's office needs to get a copy of this letter. They need to know that you back the residents of this city and the community. We had over 400 people attend this meeting at the park yesterday, Laverne and San Dimas residents. And just like they said, there was no representation from Laverne City Council, which was disappointing. As many of you know, I come to every single one of these meetings and speak on many items, but this one really touched me. I get a little bit emotional about it, but you need to urge the people that this is not the place for this project. The fact that they want to have a resource center at this place would mean that people who don't even live there would be coming for services, 54 units with only 19 parking spaces. You know very well they're going to start parking on the Fox Glen Greenbelt right there on that street and blocking their driveways, blocking the way for them to get out onto Baseline. It's just not a positive environment. Not to mention that you have the Montessori school and the therapy school adjacent to these projects, and the Olives Market. These people, you know, have saved up to start this business with the potential of doing it long-term, and that is being robbed out from under them. And so I think you really need to think twice about, I know that the city, it's out of your jurisdiction. You don't have any voting power on it, which may be the reason why you didn't put it on the agenda. But I think that having it on the agenda would have at least said the message that we care about what your opinion is. We want to hear from you. We'll engage in dialogue. Lastly, I think that we all know that the cities have to have economic growth, but bringing that to our city would be a detriment to that, because City of Los Angeles will be hosting the Olympics in 2028. They need to clean up those streets, and don't think for one moment that they will not put those homeless people that are out on the street into that project and living there while they're hosting their events in LA. And, you know, National Corps, they're not a reputable company. Why does the city or community want to do business with them? They've been accused of fraudulent contracts working with other cities out in the Inland Empire. So I implore that this council and mayor, please, that letter needs to go out sooner. It's supposed to be on LA County Board of Supervisors agenda on May 16th. Doing it at the next meeting, having it less than 24 hours before that meeting is not helpful. We need to have that letter sent tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bochamp. Pam Berry.
Great, I get to follow Danita. Well, this has been a whole lot of stuff in a really small amount of time. And I was thinking the other day as I was doing something in the house about the what ifs and if that building was there, or even just the construction phase, and what would it look like? I mean, I already figured out what it would look like visibly because I took a picture and I imposed it there. And it was massive next to that little Montessori school. And it was just thinking of the people behind it who have their backyards and their pool and they've got their barbecue area. And this would be, they probably certain times of the year would be in a shadow, but what I thought of is that street is often a pretty busy thoroughfare, morning and night especially. But if there is something going on the 210, it is one of the main arteries to try to get through. It's not that big. There's no sidewalk on the south side. People coming in and out of Fox Glen, sometimes it gets really dicey. But then I thought about the potential residents of that building. And as some said, they might be parking over on the other side. Well, then what are they going to do? They're going to walk right across the street. They're not going to go down to the next crosswalk. They're just going to walk across the street. And it's going to be very dangerous, especially when you're coming up over that little rise from Laverne and you hit the afternoon sun in your eyes. You don't see sometimes it's hard anyway, but you're not expecting people to be coming across the street. Thinking of if they only have a few parking spots, a lot of them are going to be more pedestrian, got to go get the bus or going to walk somewhere. They're going to have to walk a good mile to the grocery store if they're going to go there, or they're going to go hang out at 7-Eleven or something. But it's just a dangerous place. And then if you've got, they said bike spots, then you got people with bikes going across the street, or you can't even really go on the roadway because there's not enough. The lanes are just pretty small. There's no real parking area along there. It's just not a good place for it. It's out of place. I looked at the plans of the building. It's kind of laid out like a U. So you've got, a couple stairwells on a couple sides and one elevator that I saw at the top of a U. So if you've got these residents in there and some of them are seniors or veterans, and I just was thinking about what if we lost electricity? What if there was a major earthquake or something? There's no elevator left. And that population is not going to be doing well going downstairs. So there's just so many risks in this design, in the placement, not to mention our services of police and fire, or San Dimas's services, being pulled into all the calls because a lot of these places that are just like packed in there with any kind of special need, they get a lot of calls. So I just think it's not a good idea at all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Berry. Anyone else wish to speak on this item? Public comment. How are you, Jeff?
Good. Jeff Bassler, Essex Avenue. Want to speak on the same topic. I want to commend Mr. Hepburn and Mr. Domer for putting it in your minute, and today's city manager newsletter had it on the front page. But you guys are just mentioning that it exists. A little bit of awareness. There's not any impetus that you even care that it's going to happen. It's just, by the way, this is something happening this week. If this building, absent its application, just a building, it's a hotel, whatever it is, that would never make it through planning. There's no way on earth it would make it through planning for this city, for San Dimas, or even county. It's not safe. For, as you mentioned, it's supposed to be seniors. At least that's the cover story they're giving us today. And so there's no way that it could be serviced. There's not enough space. First time we get a call, what are we going to do? Where are we going to put the fire truck that has to respond? They're going to be blocking Foothill. There's no way this building can fly in that location. And for you guys to essentially acknowledge that it exists and not be coming out as forcefully as many of the people that have had public comment, at least, it's like telling the supervisors that we don't care that much. Unfortunately, elected officials tend to think that they're better than the rest of us. And so when the rest of us are all screaming, they don't care. We're just voters. But when our elected people that are more local don't respond loudly and forcefully to them, you're the ones that they'll listen to. If you guys are leading the charge and you have a group behind you, like we had over 400 in San Dimas on Saturday. That is the only way that they're going to pay any attention. Otherwise, they're just going to shove it through and not give a darn, just like they tried to shove it through without us knowing about it. And so if you guys, Mr. Domer and the rest of the council, if you guys are not all in one, going to them and clearly stating this is not an acceptable project for where you have it proposed, we're not going to get this stopped. It's not incumbent upon the citizens of Laverne. You are our representatives and you are who they will listen to. And you get your credibility from us backing you. We don't get credibility from you guys standing back there. We need you guys to be on the front lines of this. And Catherine Barger has aspirations for higher office. And if ground breaks on this, we need to make sure she understands her career is over. Those of us who are going to be imposed with this and she let it happen, we got to make sure we impose something on her. And we need you. You mentioned her in your your minute with the mayor. My comment right after I saw that was, boy, did he pull punches on Catherine Barger. We need to make sure she understands this is not acceptable in our community. We don't have 54 homeless people in Laverne and San Dimas. That means they're bringing them in. And if we absolutely had to have this facility, that is not the location for it. There's only one location. I've been busting my head trying to figure out if we had to be stuck with this, where would it at least fit? And the only location I can come up with is where that pottery factory used to be south of Arrow. At least they'd have parking. They'd have bus service right to the Metro rail, and they'd be able to go to wherever they need to go. Or they'd be able to have, that might work. Anywhere else in Laverne or adjacent to it, not a chance on earth of that having a fit in our community. And we need you guys to lead this charge. We're here to back you, but we need you guys in the front lines. Please.
Mr. Gabaldon.
Good evening, council. I wasn't originally planning on being here tonight, but I came from out of town to be here just to speak because I wasn't sure that you would come through to put it on the agenda. So I'm glad that you are. So thank you for that. But I just want to take a couple points of information because I think the issue is much bigger than just this project. I read this response from, I think, city staff to somebody in the audience. This is a state regulated project in which the state has intentionally limited city and county local control over what the development will be. I also noticed, Mr. Mayor, that you used the word usurp our power. So something that the audience should know, that we should know because we're giving up our city, is in 2020, Gavin Newsom, our governor, signed 41 housing and homeless bills. Okay, 40 were supported by Democrat Party. Not making a judgment, but I'm
Mr.
giving you
Gale.
stats.
So
One
can you address?
One was by a Republican. So in my view, they're all culpable for what it is that's going on in the state. And we are culpable for allowing these people to continue to write laws and legislation that take your power away and give you the excuse to say it's out of our hands. Because I've asked before in this dais that you speak more about what it is that we are voting for that may impact our community down the road, that not everybody who has the time to pay attention to stuff is voting for when they vote either along party lines, they vote based on somebody's a friendly person. Senator Rubio, presented a proclamation tonight. It's like, we need to start looking at who it is that we're voting for and what they're doing in our community. Because this is the pimple on the dinosaurs. You know what? If we do not stop this now, we are not unique in this problem. San Dimas, Laverne, Glendora, all these foothill communities that we all live in, we're raised in, we have our families in these communities. They are taking this away and we are doing nothing about it. So I ask you, just like the gentleman before me, to start speaking more loudly, more clearly, more articulately, more bravely about what it is that you're willing to stand up now and stop this nonsense. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gabaldon. Anybody else wish to speak? Public comment? No, just state your name and your address, please.
Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you for your time. My name is Chris Gerard. I'm on Beaver Way, that way. And I'm not going to take my full 3 minutes, but we really request, please, that you ask, prosecute LA County to do due diligence by all rights and measures. The appropriate due diligence has not been done. This is being put on us in ways that we don't want it. For 1 second, pretend that this is not a homeless center. Would we be comfortable with a 5-story building where that is right there? Probably not. If it was just a commercial building, 19 parking spots? No, it's not going to work. It doesn't fit. Please prosecute LA County to the fullest to make them accountable and not let this happen. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Anybody else on public comment? Mr. Gill, who's going to run your camera? Otto.
Are we having some fun yet?
Every night.
Well, Tim, Mr. Mayor, when you lit the speaking, this was sending a message that I couldn't let die. And the next day, I went to Barger's office. I went to Portino's office. I went over to San Dimas. I went everywhere. And I started lighting fires, a lot of fires. I started setting up a petition. And I started watching it grow. And it's growing larger with each passing moment. Our neighborhood, our cities do not want this building. As of right now, we have over 3,000 that have signed our petition. And it will grow and continue to grow. People are signing our signature petition. That's over 400. And it will continue to grow. The LA County supervisors cannot put agenda without letting us know, without letting the supervisors, city officials know, without letting the residents know. That's not the way it should be. Because if they are allowed to make agendas this way, then what's to stop them from doing it in other districts? This will be heard from every place. And you guys are well aware of it now. You see it on Facebook. You see it on Nextdoor. It'll be coming in more places. It'll be unavoidable. Granted, some of my words are not pretty, but they are recognizable. And again, it will grow. And I will not stop until they relent. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick Gill. Any other public comment on? We have multiples. We'll get you guys.
Hello, everyone. Mayor, Council. My name is Carlo LaPlaca. Been living in the city of Laverne for 20 years. First, our police department is very busy as it is. Okay. I've been around the block. Okay. I've been a contractor for 48 years. I've seen everything. Okay. What we're going to get if this project goes on, all we're going to get is more graffiti. We're going to get drug dealers. They're going to want to sell drugs here. We've been victim of a home invasion at our house. It did not take a penny. They took $98,000 in cash and jewelry. Okay. So my wife and I, we purchased 3 other homes in 3 different states. We're ready to make the move. Things like this will push us further to make that move. You know, we support our police department because when something happens, you don't call mama, you call 911. True? So without our police department, they're already busy enough as it is. And without them taking up all these other crimes that would happen, who are we going to call? We don't have any other sources. The other thing is this building here, again, you know, to everybody's opinion, it'll be a sore eye. And then it's up to, as a builder, it's up to you guys to say that is unsafe to build this building because of the crosswalks, because you have to come up with something that says that this is unsafe to be built there because it houses too many people for the area. It is too small. 7-Eleven will become a drug stop, basically a candy store for the drug dealers. You know, do you want that? All the other stores around it, that little shopping center there will become the same thing. We already getting homelesses that walk behind our house are not washed. We're between Fox Glen up on the hill a little bit on the Tree Line Street, the world famous Tree Line Street, right? Well, we get people that walk back there every now and then. You know, I'm tired of calling the police. I mean, now I don't even call the police department anymore because it takes too long. I just call friends of mine in the police department. Like I'm in Idaho and I see somebody at the front door. I got 22 cameras already. How much further can I go? Right? I mean, I almost shot somebody trying to steal my Cadillac converter. They told me, don't step outside of your gate. Don't engage. I have to know those rules. I'm a good shooter too. So, and Steve Figueroa knows that. Yeah. So what happens is I don't want to become a victim by committing a crime. I don't need to do that. But things like this would just bring us more, make us more furious. You know, if it's not me, let alone maybe one of these people here take on one of these young people that trying to rob them or do something. You know, it's not going to be a good thing. As you see, like on the news, there was a guy stealing a Cadillac converter from my house and a 25-year-old guy stabbed the guy to death. Well, if the crime wasn't happening to begin with, the guy wouldn't have gone to jail. He still would have had his regular life. It wouldn't have become you know, an ex-con now. So this building cannot go on. It just cannot go on. We have to find an excuse not to let it go on. And again, For some of you don't know, I'm a mathematician, okay? I'm a dive master, rescue diver. I've done everything possible. So what happens is in the world, there's a lot of people. In United States, there's 105,000 people born each day, okay? Only 35, in California, there's 10,000 people born each day and 3,500 people die each day only. So there's 6,500 new people each day in California alone, okay? So what happens is this is an inevitable thing that's happening in our world. I did the math. In 20 years, there'll be 2.2 billion people more on Earth. Where are you going to put them? It's something that I can't fix. Me alone, I can't fix. So it's up to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else on public comment? We have one on, yeah, bring in Lily. We got one.
Hi, do you hear me? I don't turn on the video so my voice will be more clear. Okay, if you can hear me, so let me continue. My name is Lily Breno. I'm a resident of Laverne, live in Old Town. So from last 4 years, actually, I attend city council meeting regularly, and then watching our city fighting so many things. As a great city, we stand together. I remember when we want to protect our Old Town style for not widening White Avenue. Look like small things, but we really knocked the door to have 100 residents to sign and really protect the environment to be Old Town feel. So that's what I learned a lot of Lebanon residents. They are senior. They are really not on social media. They don't really know the update. So about this project, 740 Foothill, I noticed this on Facebook, and then so many people don't really know what happened, especially the people who live in that area. That area I noticed because my kids love Subway, and then we drop by get the Domino pizza, and then when I pick up kids in Ramona, and always drive on in front of that area, and then go to Foothill under the freeway. So that small spot, I never thought about any space could be a 5-storage building. It's just impossible. I mean, very narrow road. And then when we drive, especially somebody mentioned, if you drive from the west in sunset time, the light really block the sun, block the eyes. You be very careful to drive. It's very high risk for the car accident. So for my understanding, it's really impossible to have so many, like a 50 unit there, and then not enough parking. So people might is assuming the people live there will ride bike or walk. They're not driving car. So I feel like if we don't stand together to oppose this project, it's gonna happen because affordable housing is coming, all the bills coming. I know I really fought so hard with all of you for the campaign, right? We all do it together. But if this case, not really like a fight council stand together, it's not gonna happen. I mean, we could say nothing because the 5 queen supervisor, you could tell in the future, this will not be the first one. I mean, it will not be the only one. More's coming. We'll squeeze in our city. I went to a meeting about the future building. I could tell more affordable housing is coming to our area. This one will not be the first one. If we will not stand strong with the resident against this project, more will come in. I just strongly hope 5 of you will really stand with the resident, our voter, your voters. Even though you don't have vote for this project, but if you don't stand with our resident, we don't really have a voice to tell them. That's 5 queen supervisor. They will just ignore us. Laverne, yeah, the tough citizens. I call stay in line in the supervisor meeting very few times, and then especially the campaign, hours, so many residents really stand together to against the campaign project. So this project is really just too rush, and then no consideration about all the residents feeling in that area. So yesterday's meeting, so many people, hundreds of people, but none of Laverne City Council show up. So maybe personal time Sunday, but people really feel disappointed for that because San Dimas mayor and council, they come, they have official speech, and then, spoke for the resident. So I hope city council and our mayor, we really think about this issue is really to build the trust again. So stand with us, not follow the bill, all the ridiculous bill of California. So thank you for listening. Good night.
Hello, everybody. Tim, how are you?
How are you?
Council,
Council.
thank you for having us. As you might know, my name is Hector Castaneda. Not like you might know. I put out a video recently and seemed to be pretty popular with the public. Thank you. Also, we're responsible for sending out 3,500 flyers to the cities of San Dimas and also Laverne to basically let all of our people that may not be on social media, we really wanted to get the word out on what was going on. We have a genuine concern, and we're not here to attack anybody, we're not the council, but, personally, we own as a family, my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, and ourselves own 3 separate properties in Fox Glen. So we're highly invested in the community. Our kids have gone to school here. We really love where we live. We bought with intention, with seeing the foothills, friendly people, really our community. We have a community vibe. So with that being said, we really are, and I think everybody hit it on the head that's come before me. We're just concerned. This building, National Corps has a mission statement that they come and they better the communities. They're working with the communities, and I have to say everything that they've said as far as their mission statement was broken in this project. Zero accountability with the community. Really, they were ready to rubber stamp this thing basically days before we were notified kind of on accident. Thank you, Tim, for putting out that video. That was awesome. But, I think we all need a say here, and you guys represent us, and we're proud to have you guys. And I really want to say, moving forward, I hope, I personally, and I think everybody here would really like to see some conviction in your words and with your letters that are going to be sent to Barger and all the other LA County Board of Supervisor officials. I'm not really a political guy. I have my opinions, but this has brought me out of the woodworks. This has actually opened me up to wanting to come to these meetings. And, prior to this, I'm raising 2 little ones. I got a couple teenagers. My wife and I own a business. We're busy. In the last 10 days, I told my wife on the way here, man, I'm really tired. This last 10 days have been a whirlwind of 24 hours nonstop, text messages and taking cause of action and reading through the fine print and trying to figure out, what can we do here as a community to really, somehow stop this thing. So like everybody else, I'm sincerely asking, please, I would really like to see some conviction in your letters and your words about this project. We're really leaning on you guys. We're counting on you. And like I said, sincerely, I hope we can come together on this and we can at least attempt to the best of our ability to defeat this as a team. We need you guys, please, your voices. I know my wife has a couple words as well.
Hi, I'm Ariana Castaneda, and I have been a citizen of Fox Glen for 41 years. I'm 41 years old, so that's the only place I lived. When we bought our home 6 years ago, when we got married, I wanted to stay in Fox Glen because I loved it so much. Right now, I have my sister around the corner, my cousin in our old house. Our whole family lives there. So, and I went to Montessori, 36 years ago. My son went to Montessori. My oldest son, he's 19 now. He also went to Allen Avenue. He rode the bus home. He also went to Ramona. He walked home. And when our boys went to high school at Bonita, we had them taking the bus home. So they would get off the bus where Mr. Dees is and walk down that hill home as teenagers. Now, I can't imagine our two little ones going through that same route with this building there. It's just, it's completely unsafe. And honestly, you know, there's so many services for kids that surround that, I'm sorry, where that proposed building is going. You're not only displacing a community that is no longer going to feel safe in their own home, but you're also displacing the services for children. You know, a daycare that's been there for, well, at least 40 years. You know, next to it, they have the We Fund therapy, which is for occupational therapy, which is, you know, for different things that kids have, you know, speech therapy or any kind of delays. Across the street, they have the Center for Autism and Related. Yeah. So these are real services. We have, you know, like I mentioned, the elementary school and the middle school. It's just a bad place. And, you know, I wanted to also say that I know that the rumor is out that there's nothing that we can do, but there is something that we can do, because I can tell you right now from my research, this still has to go to the LA County Regional Planning, and they don't have a land use permit yet. So if we can't do anything, the least that we can do is we can all reach out. I put in a call today. Nobody called me back. I'm going to call again tomorrow. I'm going to probably call 4 or 5 times tomorrow. And I told the guy that answered, I said, hey, if you call me back and get me some information, I might save you from hundreds of calls that I'm going to make sure are going to come to you in the next few days. So call me back. And you know, another thing that I want to say is I know that we're supposed to have a Zoom meeting. I don't want Zoom meetings. I don't want a Zoom meeting with Barger. I don't want a Zoom meeting with National Court. I want an in-person meeting like how we have with you guys. Yeah, you know, when you're fighting, exactly.
If we could just keep to the speakers, please.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry. You know, when you're having a discussion or an issue with somebody, it's just like high school. I don't want to tell him to tell him to tell him. I want to say it to their face. So I would like to call for an in-person meeting with National Corps and also with Catherine Barger. She's our representative. She's in our district. If we can't get Solis, I don't think she'll even come to the phone for any of us, but at least we can get Barger. And I don't believe that there's nothing that we can do. I know that there's absolutely something we can do, because there's something that we already did by voting those people in. So I think that we can, you know, take the next step and invite these people to have a conversation with us. You know, maybe it might be as small as having an in-person conversation with National Corps. Maybe they might say, you know what, you guys are right. You know, you're right. It doesn't really fit the area. It's too big of what they're proposing. And, you know, they have 53 vouchers for Section 8 payment. So they're looking at making over $100,000 a month just having residents there. So they can be a nonprofit all they say, but they're making money.
Yeah, absolutely. So
anyway, I can go on all day. But
yeah,
that's
you
about
know,
it.
we'll cut this short. I know we can be here all day. And like I said, we do appreciate your time. I mean, I think you see the concern from the community. A lot of us here are from Fox Glen, I know.
Yeah, you know,
I see
what?
representatives.
I've been a realtor in the area for years now, and I've sold 7 homes in my neighborhood. My clients were at yesterday there. I sold them these homes, and they're like, we just moved in.
Yeah.
Like for me, you know, I'm fighting for our community, not just because I live there, but because I sold it to them saying, hey, I love my community. I've lived here my whole life. I even bought here, and I think you should come to my neighborhood too.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate what you guys have done. Thank you.
And just one last thing, I'm going to continue to fund these flyers. I'm going to keep you guys all in the loop. And I'm like I said, I'm going to continue to be the mouthpiece here and just make sure that everybody's notified step by step as we continue this.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bowen.
Mr. Mayor, Council, City Manager. Number one, I am one of, I believe, many that asked for this to be an agenda item last week. And Cash, thank you for responding, say that you would ask to put it on the agenda. And I've learned that through the years of changing the rules that you had to go through a council member. You had to get it. You had to have an agenda item so you would get some feedback and not the Mount Rushmore look that all the people get here tonight. So I'm wondering if two things. If a council person asks to be an item to put on the agenda, who overrules them? Number one. So that's a separate answer. But I also want to recall and there's many people in this room, that about 6 years ago, there was a discussion about housing up at Marshall Canyon. And it was going on behind the scenes with the county. And this council, previous mayor, said, we can't do anything. It's at the county level. It's not ours. We don't know anything about it. And you, Mr. Mayor, took a stand that night. It was not an agenda item. You took a stand to make a motion that night to send a letter to the council, to the city council or LA County. That night, you voted on it. That night, you sent the letter the next day. Why can't we do the same thing tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Bowen. Anyone else on public comment?
Thank you. Wayne Perry, 4744 Esperanza. I was up here, I made a comment directed to Mr. Domer about his city manager's newsletter. I was critical of the fact that he did not include any information about the concealed weapons item that had come before the city. I noticed that today it's in there now. So I want to publicly acknowledge that he did put that in there for the city's, the public's knowledge. The second thing is I noticed the inclusion of the police department stats, which I've never seen before. I thought that was extremely valuable. I mean, I've seen, the fire department stats and things like that, and that's great, but it's nice to see the police department acknowledge about how much work they do and the different things the amount of work that they do. So I thought that was really good. And thank you for that. Quick comment on the 740 project, Foothill project. I understand that this is county land. I think the city may want to start taking a look at all the adjacent county-owned land. I mean, maybe we should annex that so this doesn't happen again. So I think it may be something to be looking at in the future to take a look at all that kind of stuff and maybe look into annexing it so it doesn't come up again. Maybe avoid the situation completely. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Newland.
Kathy Newland from Foothill Terrace. One of the things that I was going to point out is that they say that we need this building, that we need housing, we need to fill this. And there are other areas that the county has built, like on Town or Gary, and those aren't filled yet. So can we push it off to there's other areas to fill first? Just another thing to bring up that we don't have to.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Ms. Tyner.
I'm Cynthia Tyner, Gardenia Lane. I was unable to make the meeting on Sunday, so I don't know what facts were presented on that day. I have concerns about the whole project, but I keep hearing about a five-story. And I don't know what the true intention. I'm hearing on one hand for seniors, I'm hearing on another hand, I'm going to use the term homeless. Irregardless of what the purpose is, a five-story building in that area is ridiculous as far as construction goes, as far as existence goes. I think we probably all feel something like that. It's totally unreasonable in that area. However, I'm concerned about the powers that be that would say, well, okay, we're hearing all of this complaints about the five-story, let's reduce the size. If they're housing seniors, I say, let's take care of our seniors. But if they're housing questionables, I don't want it a single story. I don't want it a one-bedroom apartment. Let's know what the purpose is and be concerned about that. I'm, like I said, I am concerned about a 5-story building, but I wouldn't want it to be a 1-bedroom place for someone who is questionable to live in my neighborhood, in our neighborhood. Thanks.
Thank you, Cynthia. Anybody else on public comment? Good one. Sabina.
Sabina Sullivan, 514 Parkfield Lane. I had no intention to actually step up here tonight. I interred my mother today, but I wanted to come and support all of the wonderful people that have worked so hard over the last couple of weeks to really pull this information forward and bring it to all of us in the community. So many people have invested their own money in this, and I just want to congratulate you all for doing this. It's amazing. I mean, we've got people on Facebook, and I called Danita or Pam. Well, both Pam and Danita are amazing, but I won't tell you what I call them, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff. But what my concern here is that going back to Marshall Canyon, if you look at a map of our community, we have adjacent properties that are county. And I have heard from this council and the council previous that this falls under our sphere of influence. Now, if that is so, why is there such a lack of communication between the council and our county board of supervisors? Why is it that we are always learning of these projects after the fact? The tail is wagging the dog. This is our community. We have a say in what is being built here, and we may have these pockets of county property that are within our sphere of influence, but we have a say over that. And it is important for this council to be ahead of the curve and know what the county is doing, and not wait until the last minute and, oh, all of a sudden, oh my God, you know, the community is coming forth and they know what's going on before the council knows what's going on. That's unacceptable, and it is not the way that a council operates. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabina. Sabina, I'm sorry for the loss of your mother. I know that's been a long, that's been a long journey. Yeah. You've been wonderful, by the way, you and your husband both. GR.
Good evening, everybody. Cynthia Gabaldon, Amherst Street. Just a few things to continuously be pointing out, especially for those who are new in this audience. The previous city council, quite a few years ago, met on our Amherst project, and they actually made decisions concerning changing zoning in a closed session that was then never allowed any type of public comment. So I am also worried about what will be going on up the hill up there at Marshall Canyon. And it is also a continuance of what we see here with this county project, in where electeds think that they know better than their residents. With that said, there are a few groups that the residents and also the council, I'm asking the city of Laverne, the city of San Dimas, Claremont, and also Glendora to start participating in livablecalifornia.org, ourneighborhoodvoices.com, and catalystca.org. These agencies, or these volunteer groups actually is really what they are. They are working very, very hard to bring local control back to cities. The only way to keep our neighborhoods safe, the only way that we can keep our neighborhood identities and our city identities is to have local control. And these three groups are doing the yeoman's work right now in moving forward. And I highly recommend anybody sitting in that audience to get involved. Ourneighborhoodvoices.com, livablecalifornia.org, and catalystca.org. With that said, I also want everybody who's there in the audience to know that next Monday, the comments for the general plan EIR are due to the city. And I highly recommend everybody really look through what is being proposed in the general plan and get your comments in, because now is the time. The city of Laverne's housing element has already been approved. We needed more voices to push back on that. And even though so many city officials truly believe they don't have a way to push back, all we need is some more backbone, and we could have many of our wonderful towns and cities in this wonderful state of California start standing up and pushing back against Sacramento. We have got to take our local control back. And this is just, as what was previously said, this is the first pin on what is going to be happening to our wonderful foothill communities if we don't stand up. Get your general plan comments in by next Monday. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Come on up. Just state your name, please.
John Platt, 4983 St. Andrews. I understand we need a solution for homeless, solution for seniors. But I'm looking at this purely from a legal standpoint. So what I do for a living, I build laboratories. I build them all over the country. I get involved with all the cities, all the counties, even state licensure and things like that. I was just doing a really quick calculation on my phone because parking ratio is a big thing. Okay, so for a standard warehouse, it's usually 1.5 per thousand, anywhere up to a Class A office building, 4.0 per thousand. This is 58 units. I'm figuring very conservatively at 400 square feet per unit, 23,000 square feet. If you go with the lowest parking ratio, you're at 40 parking spaces. You're putting out 18. How would that ever clear any planning commission, any city, any county? So maybe you should look at it from a legal perspective. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other public comment? He's been sitting back there quietly all night, just waiting. We're welcome to have you, please.
Christine Alband, I'm with Informed Parents of BUSD. I wasn't going to speak on this issue, but then I heard a woman in the back, I think her name was Danita, speak on it. And it was about the books that we have in our district. When she said they're sexually explicit, they talk about a 6-year-old giving oral and enjoying it in our elementary schools, every single one of them. And the other one talks about a father. There's a child in here. I'm like, I like it. So sorry. Talks about a father raping his 11-year-old. It's explicit. I would read from it, but as I seen a little girl here and I'm not going to do that. It's horrible. I know this isn't the place. I've been to the school board meeting. I've talked to the superintendent. We have teachers that want this in our school. I have proof of it. Teachers, parents that want this. And it's like, it's not about banning books about homosexuality. We were talking about pedophilia and it's in our schools and people are pushing it. I've been called so many names, from right-wing extremists to book banner, you name it, for not wanting my child to read this. It's upsetting to say the least, but I just wanted to bring attention to it because someone kind of gave me the courage to speak on it. Again, I don't do this public speaking, but I just wanted to make you all aware that this is happening in our schools. Bonita is a home to grandparents, to families that are intergenerational. They've been here years. My husband grew up here. His grandfather went to Damien. So we've been here a very, very long time, and this is happening in our schools. It's not just an isolated incident. These things are happening here. And I don't know how anyone, a teacher, a city council member, a school board member can defend this. I'm at a loss of words. And I just want to plead with everyone. We're talking about pedophilia. We're not talking about banning being gay. This is not about that. This is so much different. And I'm just afraid of what's happening next. It's like if we're afraid to stand up and say, hey, children shouldn't be reading this. What's next? What else are we going to defend? And so I just wanted to bring awareness to that. And that's all. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else on public comment? I'm sorry, your time's up.
My name is Mike Carmichael. I don't live in Laverne, but I do live in San Dimas. I've listened to.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Anybody from any surrounding areas, welcome in our chambers. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I've lived in San Dimas for about 25 years now, and pretty much everything is very good in San Dimas. When you think about what's going on here between Laverne and San Dimas. But I'm a 76-year-old veteran. Living in San Dimas, most people today renting are paying between $1,900 a month and $3,000 a month for 2-bedroom apartments. Most of us old guys who are on a fixed income, if we didn't have wealthy parents, have no way of increasing our value because we can't own a home. We can't afford a home. We can't afford the down payment, nor can we afford the payment of the house itself, because of everything that's everybody has not mentioned tonight. And what really concerns me more than anything else is being on a fixed income, my taxes are going to go up. That's inevitable. The police department are being stretched to the nth of their capabilities. Now they're going to have to be covering this 500 unit building, which not one of us in this room.
Let's not go crazy here.
Want.
54, but
I'm
still,
sorry.
554. It's still. Yeah.
I know I get loud. I apologize, but these are the things that frustrate me, is that now my taxes will have to go to things that myself nor any one of these folks in this room, and a lot more folks that aren't in this room, are going to have to pay for. And I just feel bad for not only myself, but everyone that's in my same boat, being on a fixed income and cannot afford the luxury of increased taxes. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. And on your way home, get an In-N-Out and fill up your tank, please. In Laverne. Anybody else public comment, please?
Good evening. My name is John Tham, Carmen Court. I never got involved, and this is my very first council meeting. So this is a very good experience for myself. Thank you. And I just want to say that a lot of times I didn't get involved because a lot of the issues did not affect me immediately. I'm a Fox Glen resident, and this one did. And it really opened my eyes of how much I failed. And I've always taught my kids to stand up for what you believe in. And this is a direct impact that will affect me and my family. And I don't believe any of you guys sitting here are Fox Glen residents. So I do understand, I was there myself, where if it doesn't affect you directly, it just doesn't, you just don't feel it as close, and it doesn't just touch you or affect you in a way where you really need to stand up and fight for something. And I know that there's previous issues that that has occurred, and that there's could be done things that can be done. For my research, National Corps does not have a good track record. And as the brave little girl that helped open up this public comments, they are rotten to the core. And there is a lot of things that I strongly believe that we just need your leadership in the roles that you guys are at. And when you guys can kind of, when you guys take your time to really sit and see what you can do, there is a lot that you guys can do for us. And we need you guys to lead. And I think, and I strongly believe, I don't know how this process worked, but I have heard a gentleman speak earlier today saying that on a previous issue, you guys were able to call an immediate vote. And I stand here today and I'd like to ask, what can we expect from you? Can we expect an immediate vote today? Can we expect a letter signed by all of you to oppose this project? And when can we expect that? Because I strongly believe if we stand together, we can make an impact. We can, we will, and we must. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? Public comment? Actually, no. But thank you. That I appreciate it, Jeff, but you've been up once. Thank you, though. If it's not on this subject, yeah, we'll have to one time. Love John and Ken. I'll leave it at that. Anyone else? Yes, sir. I'm sorry, no conversation with the people. Come on up.
My name is Robert Shears, and I believe you've heard the heart cry of the people tonight. I would implore you, with all the folks behind you, to do whatever you need to do to keep Laverne the kind of city we want it to become. We are behind you. We will back you mentally, physically, prayer, whatever you need, let us know. We are with you. You're the forward troops, but you've got the people here supplying whatever they need. So I would say, let me echo the heart cry of your people. Just do it.
Thank you. Anyone else on public comment? We're going to go ahead and, anybody online? We're going to go ahead and close public comment. Before we go to council comments, there was one question that someone asked. And I can't remember it now. Regarding.
Well, basically about a letter. So we were putting on.
There was something else before that. There was something else.
The signs. Yeah.
Ms. Beauchamp. Yeah. The signs.
No, yeah. Let me answer about the signs. So
there you go.
Basically, we do not regulate signage on content. So if it was for or against the development, if they were in the median or in an area where they are not supposed to be, they would have been collected. I'm glad that they were returned. If somebody who is doing it, I'll talk to you about where you can put them and all that stuff, and then instruct you on that. So they just can't be in the medians and public right away and all that stuff. But definitely let's talk tomorrow and work with you on that so we can make sure that you can post the signs. They can be in your front yards, they can be everywhere else. Yeah, so I'm glad that we did return them. But again, we don't regulate on the content. So if it's for or against, we had these issues during the election seasons, and there are regulations on that, but more than happy to work with you on that.
Regarding, did you want to say anything before I have a chat regarding the letter?
So we were planning on having something on the 15th of the next meeting. We know that San Dimas City Council is putting something on the 9th. We stagger meetings. We are working together on, points and all that stuff. What the city council could do, listening to the residents tonight, the best option is to call a special meeting. We can do that within 24-hour notice. So unless you want to meet at 8:45 tomorrow night, I would suggest maybe Wednesday night.
Wednesday. I want to get this done. We need to talk about it and get this out. And I just want to tell everybody thank you, and believe me, we understand. And I will say the old adage, This isn't my first rodeo. But it takes people and I can't go too far with that, but we really appreciate all your help. I know people have spent money. This is very upsetting for all of us, but there's channels we work through. And I think with our city management and our city attorney and with San Dimas and everyone included in the residents, let's get this thing moving forward as far as what we don't want in our communities. Mr. Domer, so we're gonna, we can go ahead with
Yeah, we will prepare everything and post it before 5:30 tomorrow night. So it is official 24-hour notice. And I'll start working on a draft letter and circulate it. We have a lot of comments here and understand the direction.
So we'll have that Wednesday, is that correct?
Correct.
And then
Yeah.
shortly
Okay, so,
after that?
yeah, can you, so we
Yeah.
put a motion for this?
I don't think so.
No, because the mayor can call a special session. on
Calling
his
a
own.
special session for Wednesday.
Yeah.
To review this for our letter going out to the county supervisor. Unfortunately, we need to get this done, so I'm sorry, but we need to have this. It's important. We have a couple members that are going to be out of town for a wedding. No, we need to be in person, I think. We need to be in person or can we be on Zoom? Can we be on Zoom?
As a council member, can I be on Zoom?
Well, can we be on Zoom? We have a wedding, family, friends wedding. Yes.
So I'll defer to the city attorney, but there are allowances.
You have to post the place though.
No,
they
not
don't.
under the current one. You can be on Zoom. We have to have a majority of the council members here. But two members
So
can be. on
if that would be the case, we could do it Thursday if there's a school board meeting, we don't want to,
So
I mean. I think.
Yeah.
Let's do it Wednesday.
Okay.
Let's do it Wednesday. No, we need to get this out.
Yeah.
No. Wednesday, so.
Okay.
So Wednesday at 6:30, right, in the chambers.
Chamber.
Okay,
Right in here.
right in here. Okay.
Wednesday 5:30 or,
Oh, we can move it early?
well, we can, it's a special meeting, so we can call it at any time.
I would say as early as we
I
can.
know Cassie's at 5
Oh, okay.
and then school board's at what time? 6
I
or
say
6:30?
what time,
I mean,
if we post it quickly, what time, what's the earliest we could have it?
4:00. Depends on when
I can't do.
members can be 4:30. Depends on public comment. You can approve a letter as quick as you can, but how many public comments and all that stuff on it.
Well, I think our public comment has been pretty much the direction we're gonna go. I mean, honestly, we need to do this quickly.
No,
It's not currently on the
It's
agenda.
not, yeah.
I have tickets. You can't do it. It's not posted.
Yeah, you need 24 hours. So, and we cannot adjourn this meeting because it was not on the agenda to time. It doesn't meet the
Criteria.
Yeah, I don't want to violate that.
Let's do it Wednesday. Whatever works for everybody. 6:30,
All right.
or you want to make it 6? Cassie, make it 6:00. Or. What time is the school board meeting? It won't be over at 7, not with the topics we're talking about. There's no way. Well, we got to do 6:30, guys. I'm sorry. We got to do it at normal time. Wednesday. It shouldn't take too long. Okay. With that. Council comments. Who wants to start? Councilman Lau.
first, just thank you for everyone showing up for emails. I know that many of you have emailed all of us, as well as Catherine Barger's office and others. And so that is how change is going to be made. I think to the point of how do you make things happen? That's part of it. So appreciate your time and your efforts on this one. If you cannot be here on Wednesday, then I would just say email, and that'll be made part of the record if I'm not mistaken, as per usual. So send us your comments that way if you cannot make it because of conflicting meetings. Other than that, I just wanted, other things have already been spoken about, the golf tournament for LVPOA.
The University of Laverne's gala is this Saturday. My only plug about that I'll make right now, because I want to thank Laverne Fire and Laverne PD for generously donating items for the silent auction. All the proceeds do go to student scholarships. And I think just a shout out to the Laverne Historical Society, because one of your own is also donating an item. So Ben Jenkins, who is the archivist at the University of Laverne, is offering his services for a private tour of the archives. So if anyone is a history buff, that is available as well. But also if you are going to be in the area, just note that there will be traffic around the University of Laverne for the gala on Saturday. So other than that, thanks for your attendance, and as always, be kind.
Councilmember Johnson.
Okay. Way back when I was elected to the council in 2003, I had taken the place of Pat Gaddy, and Pat Gaddy had passed away recently. Pat Gaddy had passed away recently. If you've noticed, the flags have been at half staff in his honor. And we have a service, I believe, that's coming up for him May 13th. The wine walk was an excellently attended event. I had the honor to be one of the pourers at the dental office. I enjoyed the whole evening, did not partake.
Unlike someone else.
And okay, the name of the park at the Garbus Memorial.
That is no, it's not Willard Park. No.
Mills Park.
Thank you. Mills Park. Thank you, Gary.
The Laverne Rotary planted 2 oak trees in Garbus's honor there at that memorial site. Just wanted to bring that up and thank the city again for taking care of that. Thank you.
Councilmember Cash.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for everybody for coming here today. Everybody brought up some great points that we did here in the city throughout. I will address what you guys talked about today. Okay. Sir, you didn't fail nobody. You definitely didn't fail your kids. I got your back. Sir, talked about conviction. You'll see conviction. So you talked about those, minus the homeless. Who wants a 5-story building? I get it. Right. Especially if it's in our backyard. This is our backyard. Okay. I don't have to live right there. I grew up in the city as a kid here, and I still live and I raise my kids. Right. What you say matters to me. I promise you on day one, I will never fail you. Even if I get the slight inclination that I would even remotely fail you.
Councilmember Cash.
Go ahead and
we knew.
I know.
Believe me.
I got you. I know. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'll end it with this. It is what it is, right? Are you gonna lock me up? Look. Good luck. I'll be out on bail anyways. Free bail. America. Okay. I'm a military officer. I stand for God, country, and family. Okay. Got your back. I'll leave it at that before I get fired for real, right? But you guys hired me. I didn't forget that. America.
Councilmember Cash, we love you, man. Mayor Pro Tem Crosby.
Piper, thank you. I think you coming up and saying just drop the mic, and that's all that needed to be said. So thank you so much. Really do appreciate your voice coming up here. I know it's not easy in front of everybody, but you just stood up and did it. So congratulations. And again, if you live in my area, you can have my seat because you speak up. Awesome. So thank you for all you did. It shows we're in great hands. We're in great hands for the next generation to come up and really stand up. So I really do appreciate that. Appreciate the movement that we've had tonight and having a special meeting that's going to be on Wednesday. I think it's definitely needed, and appreciate that. We have a library commission meeting happening on May 17th at our Laverne Library at 10 a.m. And if it's the library commission it's the first time happening in Laverne as far as I know. And so it moves around all the time, and but the commissioners will be here and we'll celebrate our Laverne Library as well. And thank you very much. Thank you all for coming tonight.
Piper, you rock. You're welcome anytime in the chambers, as all of you are. Castanedas, thank you. Good. Thank you. As you heard, this is very serious and we will be working on that, as you saw. So we are addressing it and I appreciate all your comments. It's a very important, not that we don't know the heartbeat, but it's very important for all of us to understand. And that's why we have these meetings, and all of your comments are taken truly to heart. We have a wonderful community and we want to keep it that way. There's been many issues over the years that have tried to unravel the beauty of our community. And as residents, we rise up and we address those and we try to do for the best of our community for all of us. So we will move forward with this and we'll be answering to you guys very shortly. So with that, thank you all. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Thank you. With that, we have a closed session. Is that correct, Mr. Domer?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we do. Do you want to, we can announce those after you do the closing to memory?
Yes, I would like to do that after. As Mr. Johnson had stated, the meeting adjourns in honor of our former city council member, Pat Gotti. Pat was a longtime Laverne resident and business owner of Laverne Florist in Old Town Laverne. He served as council member for 21 years, from 1982 to 2003. Served as mayor pro tem for some of those years. Pat had a deep passion for the community and ran for council to serve as a voice for the residents of Laverne. During his time on the council, Pat collaborated with and led many committees and commissions, including the Child Care Summit Committee, Parks and Recreation Commission, Parks and Human Services Commission, Homeowners Association Advisory Committee, and the Noise Pollution Committee, to name just a few. His pride for the community extended for past Laverne's borders, spreading across the nation. After the 9/11 attacks, Pat Gotti assisted in the development of the parade as Laverne fire engines carried New Yorkers and their families through the streets. Laverne residents cheered and waved as their sea survivors made their way through the community. He valued collaboration and connections with others as he volunteered to visit sister city in Acambaro, Mexico in 1987 and advocated for providing resources to their community. Gotti prioritized the economic development of the city and guided the Foothill Boulevard Committee towards the development of multiple businesses that fostered Laverne's economic growth. His service to the city continued after his time as council member. He was part of the Old Town Laverne Business Improvement District for many years. He continued to invest his time and wisdom to the community up to his move to Arizona. He enjoyed his retirement in Arizona, spending time with his family and speaking fondly of his memories of Laverne, his pride and joy. He is survived by his son, John, and his sister, Rosemarie. Thank you very much. Thank you for his service to our community, the family of the Gottis. Thank you so much. With that, we are now going to recess in closed session with 2 items of discussion in closed session tonight. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. City Council will meet in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6 to conference with labor negotiators, those negotiators being the city manager, assistant city manager, and city attorney, regarding the following employee organizations: Laverne City Employees Association, Laverne Police Officers Association, Laverne Police Middle Management Association, and all unrepresented employees. City Council will also meet with legal counsel to discuss significant exposure to litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 subsections B, 1, 3A. One potential case, meter read error issued at multifamily complex.
Are you sure that's all?
No more subsections, sir.
With that being said, thank you again for being here. Our next scheduled meeting will be our special meeting. Well,
Special meeting.
Wednesday at 6:30 PM here in council chambers. Our next regular scheduled meeting will be May 15th at 6:30 PM. Thank you all very much.